Yet. That's everyone's favorite pose.
Okay, we just got paused.
We got pause?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Yay. Okay, awesome. All right. There you go. There you go. I love it. So sit whatever way is comfortable. So actually for me, this is comfortable for me. So whichever way is comfortable, it's going to challenge you a little bit, but let you sit comfortably so you're not like, and then just tell Karina to mute yourself, or ask them to mute them.
I'm muted, I
Oh.
guess.
Can you guys mute your thing, whatever it's called?
Your mute button?
The mute button, the microphone thing. All right. And so we always start each class with a breath of fire. It's an upregulating breath, and it turns on your nervous system and gets your body ready for practice. It also helps clear out your nasal passages because we're breathing in and out through our nose the whole time, trying to keep our mouth closed. And so we're pressing from the bottom of our Bandha lock, so it's like we're pressing between our belly button and our downstairs. We're pressing that air out through our nose, and the inhalation comes automatic. So I'll show you guys kind of with our mouth open. I can come over there. And so it's kind of like a, and you see how my belly's moving? And so we're trying to, and you have to, it takes a little bit of time to learn. It's uncomfortable and weird at first, but you'll love it before your practice. And so it's trying to get your body ready for practice. And so, but we do it out through our nose. So we press all the air out through our nose, like, and so it's just a big press, and then the inhalation comes automatic. And so when we inhale, our belly should move, and our ribs should move, and our back should move. So we're 360-degree breathers, not horizontal breathers. And so we're gonna take a deep inhale through our belly, and then we'll exhale, and then we'll inhale deeply, and then I'll have you guys exhale. And so it's, and so your eyes will be closed because we're trying to disconnect. There's no judgment in here, even though somebody a minute ago brought a chili dog and a bang in here. No, no judgment though. Oh, right. Got nothing but love for you.
Where's my chili dog?
It's all love, it's all love. And so with your eyes closed, stacking your vertebrae, just kind of sinking your head and neck back a little bit too, just trying to get everything kind of stacked. And then inhale, big belly breath, and then exhale all your air out. And then inhale deeply, and exhale, 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 exhale. Sharp exhalations through the nose. Exhale, exhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, 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 exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 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 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. And just take a second to connect to your body. Noticing where your breath is coming from, if it's coming from upper chest or lower belly. Trying to send our breath down to our belly. But imagine your breath coming out of the center of your heart, through your chest. Kind of picturing your breath coming out through the center of your heart. And I just want you to try to remember a time when you were really, really happy. Or maybe a trip that you went on that you had so much fun. When you think about it, you can kind of smell the smells. You can picture the people's faces that you were with. Or maybe just the love and the appreciation for the things that you have in your life and the people you have that you love. And just try to recreate that feeling right now in your mind and in your body. Taking a few more breaths here, just imagining that breath in the center of your heart. And I want you to just start picturing your best future. What does that look like for you? If there was no money, there was no limitations, what does that look like for you? And start being grateful for it as if it is already happening to you and for you. Setting an intention for your practice tonight. Maybe to drop your excuses, to change the way you think about things, maybe to push yourself, maybe to back off. Just kind of set an intention for your practice tonight. And then take one more deep inhale and exhale. And then open up your eyes and come to your downward facing dog. And just take a second here just to kind of walk your dog and just kind of find where you might have some sticky spots in your body. Don't try to fix them, just notice them. And maybe we take a little bend in our knees and try to send our sits bones up towards the ceiling. So try to stick your bum on the ceiling with your knees bent. And straightening out your legs. And then take a deep inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth inside out. Deep inhale through the nose. Open up your mouth inside out. Try to keep that same breath now through practice. Try to make your exhalations twice as long as your inhalations. And just lengthen in the spine a little bit more and take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, step to the top of your mat, grab opposite elbows and just take a forward fold, just a sloppy forward fold. So take a deep bend in your knees. Don't try to go anywhere, just kind of relax. Anytime our head gets below our heart, our body starts to get a little anxious. So just gently move into it, turning our head yes to no. And then inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together, reaching up towards the ceiling, and then kind of pull your shoulder blades down and back. Breathe. Inhale, and then as you exhale, just take a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pull back in your shoulder blades, and exhale, step back to your half push-up. And just go, don't have to go all the way down. Inhale, upward facing, pull through. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Take your heels together, bend your knees out wide, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Stay for a second, breathe. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! Warming up that posterior chain. Take your heels together, bend your knees out wide, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms pressed together. And then as you exhale, reach over to the right, like corner of the room, keeping your arms next to your ears, pressing in the left side, feeling a nice stretch all from your fingertips, all down to your toes on your left side. Breathe. If it's tough for you to breathe in this position, which it is for most, It's all posture. So reaching back to center. Exhale, reach over to the left. Again, trying to keep your arms as close to your ears as you can. Pull back in that right shoulder. Breathe. Inhale back to center. Hands to prayer center. Become grounded. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees deeply, touch the floor, and reach up. Everyone's favorite pose. So look down. Can you see your toes sink back further? Really trying to take your head up as high as you can and get a little micro tuck in your butt so you're not dumping down in your low back. Breathe and sink lower. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step back to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left foot and anchor it at a 45. Right foot comes up, and then step your right foot between your hands, coming up into your warrior one. So in warrior one, we're pressing back with our right foot, pressing that right hip back, pulling that right shoulder back. Everything is turned forward. Woo! If I don't fall in your warrior one, and you're pressing back into the back of your heel. So inhale, exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, exhale, open up to your warrior two, matching your heels up. And then kind of pull that right knee out towards your pinky toes. Gaze over your right fingertips. Shoulders over your hips. Reach forward, reverse the warrior, keeping the bend in the front knee. And then straighten out your front leg, reach. And then hinging forward. And then you can take your hand to the shin, your ankle, or the floor, whatever is easier for you, or if you have a block. Gazing up towards your left fingertips. Coming back, warrior two. Elbow goes on the inside of your knee, pressing the knee away, and then arm reaches up and over, twist. Fingertips reaching forward, palms are facing down. Back to warrior two. Exhale all the way down, one exhalation to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right foot at a 45, the left leg comes up, step between your foot, warrior one. And so use that leg, push that hip back, pull the pelvis forward, and then press back in the back of that right heel. And sink lower. Inhale. Exhale, sink lower. Inhale. Open up into warrior two. Gaze over your left fingertips. Our neck needs yoga too. Don't forget about our gaze, our drishti. And then reach forward, reversing your warrior. And then straighten out your front leg. Hinging forward, letting your hip kind of hit the top of your leg, and then reaching up, gaze up towards your right fingertips. And then coming back to your warrior two, elbow on the inside of your knee, pressing your knee away, reaching up and over, twist, palms facing down. Coming back up, warrior two. Circling your hands all the way down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. Trying to control the breathing. Where can you find a little bit more space in your down dog? You try to reach your head towards your fingertips. Pull your shoulder blades back. Take your heels together, bend your knees out wide, look between your hands, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, touch the floor, reach up. And then hands to prayer center. Left elbow goes on the outside of your right knee and twist. So we're trying to get our butt below our heart, that's the goal. But just take your time and feel your chair correctly. Try to pull your hips back towards the left as you're twisting to the right, gaze over your right shoulder. And then getting a good foundation, step your left foot back behind you in a warrior one foot, so your toes are still forward, and your heel is down. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Yes, this one's very, very hard. And then coming back to your chair. So if it doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change us. And then right elbow on the outside of your left ankle and twist. Again, take your time to really get that good twist. And then get solid, stepping your right foot back behind you. Trying to keep that heel down. Took me forever to unlearn this pose because I had my heel up always. And then coming back to your chair. One more time, squeeze it or no one else will. And forward fold. Woo! Inhale, flat back. And exhale, step down to your half push-up. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your heels together, bend your knees out wide, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Take your feet about hip width distance. Use your peace fingers, love you guys, and grab your big toes. Take a deep bend in your knees here. So not everybody can forward fold with their legs straight. So take a deep bend, but lean forward. So inhale, look up, pull. So really pull everything in your body, and then just start to lean your body forward. Kind of tricking our body a little bit, working with the nervous system. So allow the legs to kind of just be working, keep pushing you forward, and the top half is just completely relaxed. Shoulders are pulled down and back. And it's like we're just trying to let everything go on the top. So our yin and yang energy. And then very, very slowly take a deep bend in your knees and take your hands up onto your waist and then slowly come up. That pose never gets easier. Step your left foot back behind you, toes facing forward. And you can either just grab opposite elbows, but make sure you pull the elbows back. You can grab opposite hands, or you can take a reverse prayer. And so, just depending on wherever you are, but make sure those shoulders aren't coming forward and we're still lengthening in the spine. Front leg is externally rotating and back leg is internally rotating, and then we're trying to rip our mat in two separate directions. So it's almost like we're screwing our feet into the ground, making them solid. And then inhale, chest up, and then exhale, just hinging forward, leading with the heart. Your gaze is a few inches in front of your mat, in front of your toes. Trying to keep your whole back solid and straight. Hips are straight. Make sure you notice if one hip starts to go one way or the other. And so just lengthening and breathe. As your body feels safe, as you slow down your breath, your body will start to open up super, super quick. And then try to squeeze your legs in the opposite direction like you're trying to rip your mat in half. And then let go. Go on a little further. And tricking the nervous system. And then take your left hand on the outside of your right foot or shin, just wherever. Hand on to your low back, so make sure that your low back does not go one way or the other. So kind of keeping your hand there to help make sure you don't twist your hips. And then twist. So it's like our hips are staying forward, but we're still trying to twist. So we're starting to twist in our thoracic, our middle spine, not our low back or our hips. Inhale, exhale, twist. Step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Woo! Can you feel it? So take a deep bend in your knees, and then step as far as you can on your hands, and just act like you're trying to like massage your wrists with your toes. And then inhale, look up, pull up. And then as you exhale, just leaning forward. Again, try to take your legs as far from your chest as you can now to straighten them. And then again, we're kind of challenging ourselves a little bit, so we're leaning forward into our hands, but not too much. Just trying to find that push-pull that we get so much in life. Release your head and neck and shoulders. And then take a deep bend in your knees, slowly releasing your hands, and then slowly coming up. Oh, so slowly! And then stepping that right foot back with a little bit of an angle out. And so just taking whatever bind you took on the other side, making sure you keep your shoulders pulled back, and then leaning forward, keeping your hips forward, making sure you're squeezing the thighs. They should be working. Just breathe as you lower down. You might go way up here, you might be way up there. It doesn't matter. We don't have to be good to get started, but you have to get started to be good. Breathe. And then just real quick, just try to rip your mat in half. Try to pull your legs in opposite directions, and then release. Slowly coming halfway up, take your right hand on the outside of your foot or shin, and then twist. So again, trying to twist from our thoracic, our middle spine, taking your gaze over your left shoulder, making sure your hips stay forward. You gotta really engage those legs to not fall. And then step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Woo! 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 And then inhale, rise all the way up, palms press together. And then as you exhale, take your right leg up. And so just kind of taking a second to become grounded, just kind of rooting your foot. And then take your knee out to the side. I'm gonna move so I'm not in y'all's thirsty. As I get a towel to wipe off all my sweat. Pressing that knee out to the side, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Just kind of challenging your balance, learning to find that push-pull, and then coming back to center. Hands up over your head, and then straighten out your leg and hold for 3. Woo, look at those legs, too! Y'all see that? And 1 for the money, 3 for the okay. I won't get hurt over here. Oh, wow, you guys look good. I am impressed. Hey, I'm gonna be in your jersey now. Y'all are doing way too good. So taking your left leg up, y'all's legs are like proud. Just proud. And then taking your knee out to the side. Woo! Taking your gaze over your right shoulder. And then inhale back to center, hands up over your head, and then straighten out your leg and hold for 3. Lift higher, 2. And 1, good job. Just like, not let it go. And just shake it out. And then take a deep, I'm sorry. So actually your right heel is gonna go on the inside of your thigh into your heel, heel into your thigh. And so take your time to set up your tree. It doesn't matter where your foot is, but just get a little press, where you can kind of press your hips forward. You can kind of notice if your hip is one way or the other. How you doing, Shay? And then take your hands to prayer center. Interlace your hands in front of you, taking your hands up. And then very, very slowly, taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then just give me a little back bend until you fall out. Your body will catch you. Just keep going. Trust fall. She's like, I got this, it's not letting. I thought you were gonna like go back and touch the floor or something. I was like, dang. And so taking your left foot in. And again, just kind of noticing if your hips try to come off course, just trying to get them straight, really pressing. Asymmetrical stretch, hands to first center. And then interlace your hands in front of you. Taking your gaze with you this time. Yes, challenging ourselves. Open up your, grow your tree. Now close your eyes. That one gets me every time. I hate it when somebody can stay. Like,
I
you did very good. So take a big step out to your right, and then make sure your toes and your feet are facing forward. So you're not pigeon-toed, or you're not, got your feet out so they're directly straight. And then hands up on your hips, inhale, look up, and then exhale, just hinge forward. So again, we're trying to lean that body weight forward, and just letting the top half of our body just try to like lean forward, like gravity do its thing, like it did on the booty. Just leaning it forward. Not trying to get anywhere, just try to notice the separation between your pelvis and your spine. And then take a deep inhale, come up with a flat back, all the way up. And then interlace your hands behind you, keeping your palms together. Inhale, look up. Exhale, coming up and over. Just allowing your hands to drape towards the mat. No rush, just letting gravity do it again. And then lean your body weight forward, just kind of challenging yourself a little bit. Taking most of the weight to the front ball mounds of your feet. And then slowly, slowly releasing your hands, taking them down to your mat. And then just see how far you can walk your hands back, hopefully back to your heels with your palms facing down. And again, just lean your body weight forward. Just trying to kind of pull your body through just a little bit. Even if it doesn't move, we're just training our body. And then slowly release and come up, all the way up. And then come down to your yogi squat. And so pressing your elbows into your knees into your elbows. Just trying to sit up as high as you can. And then take your right hand in front of your shin, in front of your foot, or just as far as you can get it. And then twist, taking your gaze up towards your left fingertips. And so try to notice kind of a release in the low back. So a lot of times with this pose, it hurts a little bit everywhere, so we don't know where to kind of let go. So we're trying to let go of the low back right here. And then so coming back, and then hand on the outside of your right foot and twist. Again, don't let that knee pop in. That's the first thing it wants to do. We're kind of using that left arm to press our knee out and twist. And then coming back to prayer center. And then taking your hands in front of you. You do the front view, I'll do the side. And then coming up onto your tiptoes. And then just starting to bend your elbows backwards, which we will go over a lot. Taking your knees and your butt up in the air, and just trying to take your knees behind the back of your arms. So they don't have to be all the way up in your armpit, just making a little shelf on your arms. And then gaze is about 5 or 6 inches in front of your fingertips. And then maybe you'll just play with one leg, maybe both. Just find your balance and breathe. If you fall, just get back in. And release. Woo! Good job. Good job. And then slowly, come onto your back. Woo! And then tucking your heel towards your butt, and then reach back and try to see if you can reach your heels. Make sure your toes stay forward and your knees stay forward. And then inhale And interlace your hands underneath your back, pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. Trying to bring your chest towards your chin, not your chin towards your chest. Taking some deep belly breaths here. And then slowly lowering all the way down. Just kind of windshield wiper your legs side to side. And then tucking your heels again. And then interlacing your hands underneath you and press your body up. And then take your hands up and over, fingertips facing forward. And then come onto your top of your head. Everyone can do this. Everyone can do it. And then see if you can come all the way up. So really try to challenge yourself. And don't make it worse for yourself when you get up here, noticing all the things that hurt. Take yourself somewhere else and breathe and hold. And slowly tuck your chin, lower down. And so take your legs out like so you're gonna take your heels for your butt and turn your toes kind of angled out, and you want your feet kind of touching the edges of your mat. So it's almost like you're kind of straddling it. I'm just gonna stretch out our glutes and hips a little bit since we're sitting a lot. And so let that right knee just start coming in, but don't let that right hip pop up. So just let the right knee kind of drape in towards the center of the mat, like it's going towards your ankle, without letting that hip pop up. And then if you can reach over, I know it's kind of hard to, because you kind of want to get some resistance, so act like you're kind of pressing it into the mat and act like you're trying to pull it back out, if that makes any sense. It's kind of finding that push-pull, but just within our leg, within ourself, within our nervous system, and then switch, just taking that other knee in. Again, don't let that hip pop up, so as soon as it starts to pop up, just back off a little, and just try to let go, letting that drape in, kind of stretching out the muscles in the back of the pelvis and the glutes. And slowly release, taking your knees to your face. Oh, that was nice, too long. No, I'm kidding. And then taking your hands underneath and walk your hands all the way underneath as far as you can. Try to get your hips up over your shoulders. Just using your arms behind your back as like a bookshelf or bookkeeper or whatever those things are called. Trying to get big belly breath here. And then hinging at the hips, taking your toes towards your mat if you can. They might touch the mat, they might not, that's okay. Just try to breathe and relax. We're kind of freaking our body out and calming it down. Interlace your hands behind you. And take your knees to ear pressure, your ear for ear pressure pose. And then slowly using your hands as brakes, lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then rock and roll 3 times. Woo! Woo! Na, 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 na. And then just sloppy fold forward. Don't try to get anywhere, don't try to do anything. Just fold forward. Always want to counterbalance for all of our postures. And boat! Because I'm young. Love hurts, right? And so tuck your ankles and then take your hands down and just try to lift. Even if we don't go anywhere, we always try and breathe. And then take your hands forward, come onto your knees. Interlacing your hands in front of you. Make sure your elbows are not out to the side. They're not winged in. They're directly underneath you, and you're pressing down. So you're using your 3 points of pressure. And your hairline is directly on the mat. And your head is not going to be in your hands. Your head is going to be on your mat. And make sure you keep your shoulders in. So keeping the shoulders in. We always want everything stacked. I know it doesn't feel right when it's there, and then when you start walking up, woohoo! But make sure that your hairline is on the mat, but our head should only have about 10 pounds of pressure on it when we actually come up. And we don't ever want to kick. We don't want to go to a wall to ever try to do a headstand. If your core is not there, you don't have any business taking your legs up there. And so that's when you put it against the wall, that's when you get injured in your neck. So take your time and get your foundation correct. Make sure you're pressing down into your mat through your shoulders and your elbows and through your hands. Just finding your headstand, becoming confident where you feel comfortable. Most of us are scared to fall, and sometimes that's what we need, is we realize it's not that bad. And if you haven't fallen in yoga, then you're just not trying hard enough. I don't know how many yogis I've taken out in my lifetime. Good, and then you can start to play with your headstand. You can start to take your legs back behind you. You can start to get into different formations of the legs into splits. So there's so many fun things you can do. That's why we want to keep the foundation of the start of the headstand perfect. I love it. We got some awesome headstanders in here, as you can tell. And it was so great because y'all were just like all different, like it's so perfect. It was just like, it was like, I could do this in my sleep, yeah. And once you take your legs up over your head, all that pressure comes off your body if you have everything stacked, so the pose becomes so easy. But most people get too scared and don't want to take their legs back far enough, and then they just kill their core before they can stay up for very long. All right, so coming to your plank. So just really lengthening in the plank. Hold and breathe. And then take your right hip, knee forward, trying to get your shin as parallel with the mat as you can. Now that's really hard. What helps me is to kind of walk my leg back until I'm just kind of uncomfortable, and then maybe back off, come back up a little bit. So me trying to get my leg up is like almost doesn't work. So I just walk back, and that helps. And then just trying to make sure your hips stay forward. And then just try to lift up a little bit and inhale, keeping your foot flexed, and then exhale, lower all the way forward, and just try to relax and breathe as much as you can. This pose is so easy to clench onto everything in your body. Like I was figuring out that I was clenching in my jaw, in my neck, in my hips, in my fingers, in my toes, in my hip flexors. Like everything that I could clench onto was being clenched. So just try to notice where you're just clenching and try to let it go. I know that's easier said than done, but we're trying to connect to our body. We're trying to understand our body so we can help our body. So we gotta quiet the body enough to listen. Starting to focus in on your 4-8 breath. So inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 8, 7, 6. Keep going. Even if you don't have any more air to press out, keep pressing it out. Resist the urge. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Check in, release, and clench. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start to come out. And coming over onto your right hip, and then just take your left leg up and around, and take that foot on the outside of your knee, and then twist back around again with your right elbow on the outside of your left knee, and then twist, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. So yeah, we did a lot of twist, twist, twist. And so inhale, lengthen in the spine, and then exhale, twist, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. And then slowly release, unraveling, taking your left leg forward now, and just walk that right hip back. So try to get your hips squared first, and then try to walk that leg back instead of trying to bring that leg forward, and keeping that forward leg flexed, because we always want to protect the joints. Those are super important. And just keeping your hips squared forward, and then just lowering down. And so again, just kind of noticing, like right now I know I'm clenching the, you know what, out of my left hip, like nope, I ain't letting go of that. That's gonna hurt. So try to let go anyway. And it's in the art of letting go. You can just really start to feel the benefits of the pose. So in like Ashtanga, it's like when it's like you're in a posture and you can't hold it any longer, and you feel like there's no way you can go on, that's when the pose starts. I'm just trying to get rid of our excuses, get rid of the stories that we make up why we can't do things. And then we realize that we pushed through and it sucked at the moment, but it's over and now we're proud of ourselves, and that is way more powerful than the pain that we went through. Just being more addicted to being proud of yourself for pushing through when it was hard. Make sure you guys are breathing. Do one last check-in. Where can you let go? Maybe you need to let go of the jaw, the ankle, something. And then very, very slowly release, rocking your body onto your left hip, and then take that right leg up and around as far as you can get it, and then twist this elbow as far around as you can get it, and then try to lengthen in the spine, pull that right shoulder back and twist. Taking that deep inhale and exhale, just like letting your breath be like a rag, wringing out your organs. Lift, exhale, twist. That is so yummy. I love that one. And then slowly release into your boat. And then slowly lower down for 3, for 2, and up. Love you guys. And then slowly lower down for 3, for 2, and melt into your mat. So this is your time, your reward. You're making your body as heavy as you can, not worrying about a thing. If a thought comes to you, recognize it as important or not. If it does not serve you or deserve you, get rid of it. This is your time for your body to absorb your practice. Shavasana.
In our spiritual practice, we learn that if every inch of our being wants to run in the opposite direction, we stay. These practices at their core are the art of staying. When we are practicing yoga and meditation, when we are practicing staying clear and conscious around food, or when we are staying conscious around our reactions and our relationships, we are strengthening our ability to be steadfast with ourselves. We are in a discipleship. The word disciple comes from the same root as discipline. And I like to think of discipline as more of self-love than discipline. To be a disciple of your revolution means to be completely committed, fully to doing the right thing, learning the lessons and being open to the whole range of experiences that arise along the path. No matter what comes up, bone-aching emptiness, anger, or the craziest thoughts and emotions, we learn to stay right where we are. Our aspects of commitment is staying in our body. Although many yoga practitioners are tempted, we don't run out of the room during our practice if it gets challenging. We acknowledge the impulse to run as just another thought and let it go, without judging it or letting it sweep us into the story of it. This is no small task. We have been thoroughly conditioned to bolt when we are uncomfortable. But we stay anyway, because this is how we awaken the sacred within us. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, starting to wake your body back up again, twisting in your wrists and your ankles, and then reaching up over your head and kicking into your heels. And then pull your knees into your chest and just kind of roll around on your low back for a second. Just kind of love yourself. See what your body needs at this moment. And then slowly take both knees over to the left side, taking your gaze over your right shoulder. And try to pull your knees towards your belly button as much as you can. And try to be as relaxed in this pose as you can though. So try to really get yourself to let go. Maybe your ankles, maybe you're clenching in the hips. Again, maybe the jaw. Try to let it go. We always want to control everything. And then slowly take both knees over to the right side, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. And just kind of noticing what is different on each side. What can you let go of? What can you forgive? What can you be thankful for? And then slowly take your right hand to your left shoulder and your left hand to your right shoulder. And just give yourself the biggest freaking hug ever. Like, oh my God, I just missed you so much and I just got you from the airport or something and you just, wow. And then I want you to think about 3 things that somebody who knows you and all the people who love you would say about you. And I want you to start saying those things to yourself. Start being your biggest cheerleader and not your worst enemy. We wouldn't talk to a complete stranger, so we hate the way that we talk to ourselves. Start changing your self-talk. It does nobody any good and it only harms you. And then slowly come up to a seated position with your eyes closed and your towel on the back of your neck. Sorry you guys didn't get it out. And we always finish class with the balancing breath. So taking your middle finger to the bridge of your nose. And remembering that our mouth is for eating, our nose is for breathing. So for that reason, we will inhale through our nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4,
3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Plug your nose and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time, inhale, really make some space, make some cobwebs out of those ribs, and breathe and hold. And just kind of feel your body for a second, notice it. Slowly exhale for 1, 2, 3, find some room, make some space. There's bubbles in there, press them out. Plug your nose and hold. Allow your body to be uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Hold and release. Take your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Just take the time to take care of you, to put your oxygen mask on first. This is a hard world, so start with your own self-talk. Change the way you think about things, and think about what you think about. May this yoga practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. May this yoga practice change and strengthen your body and your mind. Thumb knuckles to forehead. Together we say, Namaste. Woohoo! You guys are awesome. You guys are so awesome. I'm so proud of y'all. Do what?
You are awesome.
Oh, I'm proud of you. You guys are awesome. I mean, you guys, like, with your legs out, I was like, I'm so proud of you. That's hard. That's the first thing I notice when I start with the athletes, because their legs are way down here, and they're like, how in the, they're like, it's so funny. How are you guys over there? Let me turn some lights on.
I fell asleep today.
That's what you should do. Shavasana is, yeah, it is that time to rest. It's the most important pose in your practice, and it needs to be 15 to 20 minutes, but not everybody has time for that. So, can y'all? Hi, y'all. Did y'all like it?
That's good. Can you hear?
Oh, everybody's on mute. Hi.
That's good.
Awesome. I miss having you in the studio. I miss being in Mexico with you, Jennifer, and Gretchen. Welcome to the family, and Perla, you're going to be part of the family. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna clean up just a little bit here and let everybody just kind of go take a little bit of a break, and then we'll jump back on here in just a little bit. Go meet back here. Let's see. Let's meet back at about say 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Is that okay? So that's we'll just meet back at 6:20. How about that? So that's like 14 minutes. You guys have 14 minutes. No. So we'll see you back in 14 minutes. And then you can use the same link. So the same link is continuous. So there's no. Huh? Yeah, you can just like pause your video and mute and just for sure.
I was thinking there was sometimes I might want to be on this side. Where
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's a great idea.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be double-sided.
Awesome, you guys. That was fun.
I'm gonna get a handstand this time.
I know, you were doing so good, but I didn't know if you were like waiting. I didn't want to go over
No,
and
no,
try to
no, I
help
was
you
like-
if you needed to take a break, you know, because sometimes I don't know if people
Oh, yeah,
need a
that's
break
fine.
or if they, you know, but most of the time people will let you know,
Yeah, no. it was
you
good.
know, but
Yeah.
is it, pause it and
That's good.
you're doing awesome. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. You went and got all your new workout clothes and now you have no
Great.
choice.
Well, because I know I told Zed, he goes, oh, I need a shirt because he went and shot.
Yeah,
like,
so you
ski
spent
yesterday.
like
I'm
way too much money there though.
sorry, you had to get me something for me.
Yeah, I got you a shirt and me 12 outfits.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes
Sorta.
though. I got you a